Hello and Merry Christmas. I'm so glad that you're able to be here with us today during this live stream, really just hanging out. I know sometimes Christmas isn't always as jolly and fun for everybody. I'm one of those people. So I thought, you know what? Let's spend this time together and just thank you for taking the time out of your day to hang out with us. Right now, I got this super amazing drink right here. It's take a guess what you think is in here. It's PG, okay? But take a guess. Here, do the inspection. What do you think is in this drink and all around it? We'll start off with that because today there's no focus here. There's no cases to cover. It's Christmas. We're just two people drinking, having a good time. Maybe water, juice, chocolate milk, stuff like that, right? Milkshakes. Good stuff. Oh, Leo, you're really close. He guessed hot chocolate. All right, let's see. Hot cocoa with some Baileys. Close, guys, but not anything yet. Joe says eggnog. I've actually never tried eggnog. I have this weird fear of drinking raw eggs. And I don't even think it even has. I don't even know what's in eggnog, to be fair with you, but the cartoons have ruined my life forever during the Christmas holidays, and always like the grandparents drinking eggnog, right? Never had it. It gives me the ick. Ellen says rum, tons of rum. No, but the hot chocolate is close. Oh, but okay, Rex, you got the whipped cream and the caramel correct. Good guess. I'll give everyone one more peek at this probably shouldn't tilt it. Delectable drink. Let's see. It's not eggnog and it's not hot chocolate. Hot, no. You guys are close. Swiss mocha coffee. I wish I had the time, but I didn't make that. It does sound delicious though. It is actually just chocolate milk with whipped cream and some caramel, and I'm not even joking. I made it 30 seconds before the show started to give us that cozy feeling. That's really what it was for. It's delicious. It's so yummy. I really enjoy chocolate milk and hot chocolate, but my hot chocolate, it never comes out perfect. I don't know what it is. I've tried all the powders. I've tried Abuela hot chocolate. I put cinnamon and it's never great. It's always just barely mediocre. So we're gonna do a roundtable right here. What is your all-time favorite winter drink, holiday drink, however you want to address it? I wanna hear what it is, and if it's super good, I'll make it. I'll be like, that sounds amazing. Let's go for it. Bruh says hello. Well, hello right back at you. Charles says whipped cream. Wow, hot chocolate. Cristina Gomez. Whipped cream is great. Not all the time, but sometimes you're just really in the mood for something foamy and frothy like whipped cream or foamy coffee. Can get both. Always delicious. Brett says, need the hot chocolate recipe from the Santa Claus movie. Can you just send it to me? Just put it in the chat. I want to hear what it is. Maybe I'll give it a try because mine never come out good. Tark says knock like eggnog. I can't. The concept of just eggs. And no, I don't think so. It's kind of back in probably the 90s and the early 2000s where bodybuilders would just drink raw eggs for their protein shakes and barely put it in the blender. It makes my stomach churn. It's grody to me. Now, I know that there are some countries that like to put raw eggs on their ramen or their rice and stuff, and they just dip their stuff in raw eggs. I did that once 2 weeks ago. And I thought, man, I'm so cool. Everyone's eating this. It must be absolutely delicious. So I cracked a raw egg in my ramen and I poured some hot water on it. I got food poisoning. Yeah. It was horrible. And ever since several weeks ago, eggs give me the absolute ick because of that one situation. And Mike's, thank you so much for the super chat. It says Merry Christmas. Right back at you. Thank you for being here. And if you have any questions, it's very chill AMA hangout. Place them in all caps. That's the easiest way for me to read them and find them. But of course, like what Mike did, these stand out, and I'm like, okay, I can read those fastest. So let's. Ooh, Charles says croissants with scrambled eggs is a classic with like sauteed onions. Ooh, good stuff. I really enjoy that. Curry says, no, that was from Rocky in the 70s, but also Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 90s, right? 2000s? Somewhere along there. It was very cool. Now it's not a common practice, which I'm very grateful for because I couldn't do that kind of stuff. Mr. 8 Official says, hi from South Carolina. Hello. Hi there. Yeah, Matthew, the recipe for eggnog is yuck. I'm glad we're on the same page on that one because same. A lot of people are kind of having the ick with eggs. Oh no, let's see. Okay, Hillbilly gave us a recipe. It says throw a bud in a hot, like what kind of bud? Like chocolate bud? In a pot of milk and add cocoa, maple syrup, and a little bit of rum for a very heady, hot chocolate treat. Add a little scoop of instant hot coffee. Okay, that sounds yummy. I like the idea of like hot chocolate coffee. It's very, very good, actually. Very yummy. So Zayn says, thank you. That's really nice. I also wish the best for everyone in 2025, all those watching this now and on the replay. It seems like it's going to be a very interesting year. Hopefully, it's going to be in our favor for UFO disclosure, the way that things are turning out. But I feel like every single year, we always hear the experts say, this is the year of disclosure. And then it turns out not to be. But for those that have come on this show, like watched this show once or for several years, how long have you been watching? How long have you been subscribed to this channel? I really would enjoy to hear that because we've been doing this show. When I say we, I mean you and I and Puck. There's Puck. We've been doing this show for 3.5 years, 4 years now. But it's been a definite journey. It's been very interesting to become familiar with the topic and to be more confident to talk to you, to the camera, to the microphone. It's not something that's just instinctive. You got to learn, you got to practice. And growing up, for instance, like with the speech impediment and with the stutter, it was very hard to start. But with all this practice, doing this several times a week, it's gotten a lot easier, and I've overcome one of my most embarrassing traits that I don't hear too often. I hear it in like my daily life. Yeah, that's embarrassing, but here where it's recorded and forever on the internet, it's not so bad. It's not terrible. Sean says 4 years, like you are here since the beginning. Oh my god. You are MVP. That's incredible. Thank you so much. Brown says 2, I believe. You know what? That's pretty sick. That's really awesome. Invisible says over 4. Over 4? That's like past me. How have you been here before I've been here? Unless you're a time traveler. If so, pass on that technology. Pass on that wisdom to me. I'd like to be a time traveler as well. NB since the big phone home. Oh my gosh. It's so cool to see so many people that have been here since almost the beginning. I think we've all seen a evolution, a development on this channel, how it's evolved, the paths that we've taken, the routes that we've gone through trying to uncover this topic, and just being more confident. It was scary at first, but now it's not so bad. If I mess up, I just kind of brush it over and say, whatever, we make mistakes. When I first started, I was mortified, terrified to make a mistake, to like show my speech impediment. which usually happens when I feel an extreme emotion or just not getting enough oxygen, which I just recently learned. I wish I knew that when I was much younger. But now if it happens, if it's pre-recorded, I cut that bad boy out. But if it's live, I just keep on going and hope that no one saw it but me. Ulf says, 15 months for me. That's oddly specific, but I love it. It's so awesome. Marty says, I recall among the first videos I saw of yours was the Black-Eyed Children. That was one of my first episodes. Like, that was one of my first episodes of Mysteries with a History. No, it was one of the first. My first one was Shadow People. And that was, gosh, years ago, where I had like a black backdrop and like trying to go for this eerie lighting for my first show. It's embarrassing now. I never look at any of my old shows because it makes me cringe so hard that I'll get a stomach ache. Like, it's so cringy to me. But I still get comments on my old shows of like, wow, this was great. And I'm thinking, watch the new stuff, guys. Like, come on over to the better version, right? But that I'm not stopping you to watch the old stuff, but you'll definitely see a difference between several years ago and now. Like what you see with most people's channels or podcasts or whatever, you always see that evolution in quality, in quantity, and with confidence as well. So if you watch them, go ahead and comment, and I'll probably see it in my YouTube studio. It'll show up. 4 for me, says David. 3 to 4, says Mark. We got a lot of people that have been here for a really long time. Real MVPs. Oh, Zen, how could I forget? Of course, you've been here since almost the beginning. I know. It's crazy how many years it's been and how fast it's gone. It's kind of shocking, actually. Since day one, says Marcus. Jim says 2 years. Chris got to bring in the dun dun dun. Jimmy and I still haven't gotten that proper timing yet with our dun dun duns, but we're working on it. We're getting there. But it needs more practice, I think. Mr. Webb says about 2 years. Awesome. You guys are so cool. For all my newbies and all people that have been here since forever, y'all are sick. Y'all are great. Time travel is overrated, says Real Merch. Metch? What? No, it's not. It's it's Christmas, so that means the Christmas special of Doctor Who, which is exciting. Now, every Christmas from the last several years, I have to watch one episode for the last like 3 years, and that is the holiday special of Father Ted. You can find it on YouTube. It's totally free. What is one tradition that you have to follow every single year because it was passed down by your family, or you made it a tradition for your family and your kids, or just for you? I want to hear your tradition, your ritual when it comes to Christmas. For those that celebrate Christmas, for me, it's watching the Father Tad episode where they are stuck in the Irish Mall. And I won't go into too many details, but it's hilarious. And for all of my forevers here, you know how much I love the TV show Father Ted. And it's like the randomest. It has nothing to do with UFOs or anything strange and mysterious. It's an Irish sitcom about priests. And if you like dry Britishy humor, that's for you. Otherwise, avoid it. Brett, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It says, what was it that pushed you to take the leap and make a YouTube channel? This is a great question, and one that I get asked like half the amount of times when I'm a guest on a person's show. And for me, for those, you could literally get this right now. If you go to my videos and you look at the oldest videos, you will see me analyzing UFO footage that have been released to like MUFON or NewFork or any of these UFO archives, and I would attempt to enhance them, zoom them in, add filters, and then allow people to make up their own minds based off of the new enhancements from that raw footage. But I thought to myself, well, I'm so interested in this topic, this isn't enough for me. I need more. And so I thought, the best way to do it is to ask my own questions to the people that are knowledgeable in this field. So then I created Shifting the Paradigm, which was an interview format show that ended up being caught by KUNX-DB, which was like a radio station, digital radio station. And it kind of took off from there. And then that show evolved into several shows a week to those interview formats, Mysteries with the History, Strangest News of the Week, Tales of the Strange and Unexplained, which are now turning into UFO case studies. It happened consciously, but then it began to unravel by chance. So a little bit of magic, a little bit of planning, and this is where we are today. We're like 800 and something episodes or videos on this channel on YouTube. And I didn't think I was ever going to get this far. Really. I didn't ever want to be someone that was like known in the field. I just wanted to ask questions and to ask people questions face to face, or in this case, face to camera, right? It's been a fun ride. It's been very exciting. It was actually terrifying at first, and now it's just second nature. It's so much easier than what it was when I first started. Ray says almost 4 years. Dang. Jam says for a tradition, I'm assuming, or a ritual, having a real Christmas tree and no artificial trees. Ah, the smell of pine. So beautiful. I love it. It's almost like pine sol. Actually, it is pine sol, but it's coming from a tree, not a chemical. So that's nice, right? But I gotta catch up with you guys. I gotta know your rituals or your traditions when it comes to Christmas for those that celebrate Christmas or any other holiday that falls around this time, like Hanukkah as well. I want to hear them. Let's see. I have to eat food every Christmas. I gotta do that every day. Super crazy movie geek. But on Christmas, maybe splurge a little bit, eat a little extra and gain those few pounds. I'm with you on that one. No guilt. No guilt on this day. I'm planning. I don't love cooking, but I like cooking. And if I'm in the mood, I'll cook something yummy. However, I'm not a baker. I cannot bake for the life of me because there's a big difference between cooking and baking, okay? Cooking, you can taste test through. Baking, you got to pray and wish for the best, put it in the oven, wait until it cools to give it that taste test. I don't have that kind of confidence or discipline. However, today I would like to make some chocolate chip cookies because it seems like it would be nice. And I should have made them last night for Santa, but I didn't because I was doing other stuff. So making them today instead of for Santa, they'll be for me. That'd be nice. But I got to ask if you have a super secret chocolate chip recipe that you want to share with me and not make it a secret anymore. Because it's on my to-do list to do tonight. Make chocolate chip cookies. Nom nom. Cabbage rolls. Gizmo. Yum. Boxing Day. Yes. People across the pond. Boxing Day is a holiday. That's actually, it's very cool. I don't know a lot about it except that you just throw away all of your Christmas boxes. But I think there's more to it that I think somebody in the chat can fill in the gaps for me for those that live in the UK. Across the pond. The Golden Cleric, AJ. We got a Father Ted fan over here. Such a great episode. Watching film Love Actually, nice. Truth says, do you celebrate Christmas or Feliz Navidad? Not really. I mean, like, I know it's a special day and I'll cook a little bit extra. Maybe I'll see some of my friends and family, but it's not like a holiday where I go all out and celebrate. It's not like Halloween. I love Halloween. Okay, that's a whole month for me. Christmas, it's just not like my favorite holiday. Not for any particular reason. I just don't love it. I don't like the Christmas music. I'll be honest. I'll say it. If no one else is going to say it, I'll say it. Stop playing Christmas music in November at the grocery store. It's like not even a difficult request. But now, after today, we won't be hearing it anymore. And I'm pretty grateful about that. Nice. Aga think? Nice. I love Father Ted. Brownie points. You just earned yourself some brownie points. That's awesome. Yeah, we can't say that, but yes. Father Jack. Sorry. Today's just a very casual, chill day. We're not going on any UFO script or anything like that. No, I like to be very professional. I like to be very poised and controlled. Today, we're just having a little bit of fun, right? We got our chocolate milk or our hot chocolate, surrounded by good company. What else could we ask for? Maybe a fire burning on the television, not like actually burning, you know what I mean? Like little video of a fireplace. I love doing that. Some snow. Unless you're in Australia, which blows my mind that in Australia, Santa Claus wears swimwear, like swim trunks, because it's summer in Australia. And then here, everywhere else, Santa's living in the North Pole, totally covered up because it's super cold. But Australia is a whole different breed of Santa Claus. And that blew my mind when I first learned about that. HQ says 1 year here. Nice. Thank you, Moon. And happy holidays, Casher. Happy holidays to you. Ooh, tamales and salsa. I'm a little excited to make tamales. I literally bought all the ingredients and I have them. I just haven't had the determination to make them, but I bought the corn leaves and like the special chiles and stuff, but never made them. It's not a Venezuelan dish, it's a Mexican dish, but I'm like, I want to, but I'm just a little nervous. AJ Raffles, thank you. Stay tenacious in 2025. Right back at you. Thank you so much, AJ. And Gameo, we're going to call you that. It says, Merry Christmas. Yeah, the enchantments and zooms caught my interest because I feel like there was at least an attempt at further analysis. Sweet. No, I hear you on that one. And thank you so much for the super chat as well. And Brett, killing it, says, hi, Cristina. Can you give an honest assessment of the recent drone UFOs? And have you or your viewers ever thought that maybe they're new to us? Okay, great question. And thank you for letting me know it's a question so I can answer that for you. Okay, so we've covered these objects, these drones, for quite a few weeks on this channel. And we've gone into pretty deep analysis on them, explanations, looking at witness testimonies, but also looking at the area of New Jersey and its Lockheed Martin facilities that specialize in drone creation, along with Colorado and California. And then also New Jersey has a lot of military bases there as well, one of them being the most important, being the Dix Lakehurst base. So I feel like the timing is interesting, to say the least. We're seeing them at the end of the year. Every single year at the end of the year, we get very strange UFO sightings. It's an odd coincidence, to say the least, that it came right after the internet took the national holiday by storm, Alien Invasion Day, right? It's just kind of odd that this kind of happened at the same time frame. Coincidence? Don't know. I think that maybe we're dealing with both here. We're probably dealing with military technology and equipment, just because off of what we know about New Jersey and the Lockheed Martin facilities and the air base, the military bases there. But there's also this possibility that some of these objects that are being seen in the sky might actually be classified as UFOs, especially with these theories that they might be able to mimic human technology. There have been stories that they shapeshift some of these craft. They're sphere sightings, and these sightings are taking place all over the world at around the same time frame. We're seeing them in England at Royal Air Force bases. We're seeing them in Germany on top of military bases. We're seeing them in Russia and Australia as well. There have been reports, and you can find a lot of those articles either right here in the YouTube descriptions, depending on the videos that we talk about, or on my website at ufonews.co. That is an aggregate of UFO news. So the wherever an article is talking about UFOs, it will show up on my website, ufonews.co. So you don't have to scroll through all of these mainstream outlets to get your UFO news. You can just find it all on one website, which is my website. That link is in the description box below. So I feel like we're dealing with a lot of different things here. We don't have any answers. If anything, the way that the DoD, the FBI, and the FAA have attempted to address this, it's very sloppy. It's definitely resonating or at least resembling the same protocol as the Roswell incident back in 1947, where the Air Force said, oh my gosh, it's a saucer. Wait, no, actually, it's a weather balloon. Wait, no, actually, it's Project Mogul. We're seeing that same narrative here today of, oh no, it's not a threat. It's not ours. It's not foreign adversary. Wait, no, actually, it is ours. Yes, it is US military and hobbyist balloons. Oh no, wait, and now it's going to be our next stop, right? I don't know what's going on, but it's very strange that it's all taking place and we're seeing so many frequent sightings in these last 4 to 5 weeks. I hope that 2025 will hold a lot more interesting UFO sightings. Now that people are becoming more used to this topic and addressing it and covering it, but the term mysterious drones or drones that are being how they're being titled, it seems like it's conditioning the public that if you were to actually see a UFO and you tell somebody, they'll say, no, dude, what you saw was a drone. Like, are you dumb? So this could also be a form of conditioning as well. I feel like it's a lot of different things going on here. It's not just one thing. And that was a very long-winded answer, but hopefully it answered your question. And I've also seen I've gotten a lot of emails of people in and around the East Coast that have shared their sightings with me and their videos as well. But also even I've gotten emails and DMs from Texas. I've got one from Oregon. Another one from New York. The Hudson Valley is getting a lot of these strange UFO drone sightings, which that area is very famous for the Hudson Valley flap just a few decades ago. So I really appreciate every single person that's keeping me in the loop, that are sending me these DMs and emails. And while I can't always address them with full length paragraphs, I am reading them and I am placing them in my own archives. And I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you sharing your sightings with me. And especially if you have footage or photos with details as well of like where it took place, when, the time, the weather. I appreciate you. Like, you are awesome. So for everyone that's ever sent me an email, that was for you. Thank you. Stephen, thank you so much. It says, Merry Christmas, Cristina. That's me. I'm Cristina. I said my own name wrong. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. This one time, Jimmy, and I'll never forget, Jimmy was reading a comment. This is like almost 2 years ago now. And he read his own name wrong. It said Jimmy, but he said Jiminy. Now it has become an inside joke. I'll text him or I'll give him a call. Usually when it has to do with like, hey, today's topic is XYZ, I'll say Jiminy. And it's so funny because he did it to himself. I didn't do it. I didn't name him that. He named himself that. So when you get your own name wrong, it's embarrassing. And I just did it now. And it's embarrassing. Luckily, I'm wearing a little bit of foundation so you can't see my face turn red and blush, but it's there. Let's see. And thank you for everyone that's saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas right back at you as well. Yeah, Jiminy Christmas. That's so funny. My next question for you is, for those catching this, and also hit that like button right down below. What is your all-time favorite UFO case. If you had to pick one, like the one that just screams at you, which one is it? And then here's a little trivia question for you. For those that have been following this channel for a few years, you're in the hot seat. What's my favorite case? You should know this because I talk about it all the time, especially when I'm a guest on other people's shows. They always ask me, Cristina, favorite case? And I'm like, oh, it's this one. So I got to ask, what's yours and what's mine? Take a guess. Super says Roswell. Is that your favorite? That's a pretty good one. I also like that one. Ooh, Jeffrey says my own. Nice. Farhinia says WW. Roswell. We're seeing a lot of Roswells. The Aerial School. Oh, that's a classic. James, Merry Christmas. Brett, thank you again. It says these hobby drones have a short battery life, and but these have been seen from airliners at 20,000 feet. That's the interesting part. There's also some witness testimony that those that have attempted to fly these drones that they buy at the store online, attempting to get close to these unknown objects in the sky, their battery drains immediately. Allegedly, right? That's very weird. But you bring up a really great point here, Brett, of how some of these pilots have seen objects in the sky. One of them was actually in Eugene, Oregon, 2 weeks ago, and it was recorded by the air traffic control audio. I've played it actually on my YouTube short. It's like a 6-second video of playing that one section of the clip where the air traffic controller says, just drive around that UFO, which they attempt to avoid that acronym at all costs, just based off of how the past has repeated itself at those that have seen strange objects in the sky get their wings removed and they get an office job. This was very famous with the JAL flight a few decades ago, where the Japanese airliner went from Japan to Alaska. He saw this weird, like huge mothership in the sky. He tells his story. He gets an office job right after. Also, there have been reports that people a part of air traffic control that have records of UFO sightings either on their radar or in communication with the pilot. Very quickly, people are standing right behind them and saying, give me all that information. It's confiscated, right? It's weird. Vanessa says the Acorn UFO is my fave. Oh, I like that one. Travis Walton says, Adrian, not. I like that one. That one's really good. Kalares, that's my favorite. Good job. NB. Yes, good job. Peace. The Betty and Barney Hill. Oh, that's a good one. Phoenix Lights, classic. I also like that one. Phoenix Light, says Aaron. Kalares, Brazil for you. That's right. Kevin says Rendlesham. We're seeing a lot of similar cases here, a lot of Roswell, a lot of Phoenix Lights, and a lot of Rendlesham. You guys are awesome. Hopefully, maybe you're like sharing contacts, sharing emails, comparing notes on your favorite cases. Ooh, Mr. Webb says the Aurora, Texas case from the 1800s. Oh, that I also really like that one. Just the whole vibe of it is so cool. And then it took place, it was like 1890 something. It's a fun case. I really like that one. Sakaro, says James. Nice. I like that one too. Actually, I like all of these. I'm biased. I like all the UFO cases, but some of these stand out a little bit more than others. Allagash, says Scorpio. Ooh, yeah, I like that one. Let's see. Joe says, I want my own drone. They're pretty easy to purchase, the small ones at least. Now, these ones that are being seen that are the size of an SUV, 6 feet long or longer, yeah, those are not for public consumption. It's not even the word I want to use. Purchase. There it is. John, thank you so much for the super chat. And Jay, thank you as well. It says, Chase Hughes did a video last week about how to spot a psyop and to watch for it with these drones. Really seems to fit the pattern. New president, Project Bluebeam. I know a lot of people are talking about this, if it is Project Bluebeam, but and I know it's really being emphasized by certain people, but let me just mention this. From my point of view, and that is the way that the narrative is being pushed by the government of it's not a threat, nothing to worry about here, um, it's not fitting the Project Bluebeam handbook. Also, we need to consider that from the limited information that we know about Bluebeam, because the information is genuinely very limited, that came from Van Braun, gosh, a few decades ago. It was also that the government's going to attempt to control the public. They want to gain power, and also it's going to be like a hologram invasion. These drones are, I'm going to guess, a lot of them, if not almost all of them, are physical. And the Pentagon and the DoD, from an outsider's perspective, looking at this publicly, they're downplaying it a lot, and they're not attempting to entice fear in people or gain control of the narrative because they're failing miserably. It's more so of like, hey, nothing to see here. Actually, don't even look at this stuff. So in my opinion, I don't feel like it is Project Bluebeam. Could I be wrong? We'll find out. Right now, I know people are really pushing that narrative, but I'm not seeing it. But I'm always grateful for people to share that information with me and share the patterns that they see. I'm open eyes, open ears. So I want to know the truth. I want to know the answers. I don't want to walk around with my own bias. That's boring and lame, and I'll never find out anything, right? Planet X, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, thanks. Right back at you. Thanks. And Merry Christmas. I'm still asking you guys your favorite case. Mark says the Lana Zamora incident, the Sakaro incident. Good stuff. I had mentioned we're seeing a lot of familiar ones. Colin says the Skinwalker Ranch. Nice. Ooh, Varginha incident. Yes, in Brazil. It's a good one. I really like that one. But Colares is my favorite. If I had to compare between Varginha Brazil incident and the Colares Brazil incident, I'm leaning towards Colares. It's my favorite. John, thank you. Again, it says, what is your personal opinion on Stephen Greer's announcement? I kind of feel like I just answered that, just because he's one of many people that are talking about Project Bluebeam. And from my point of view, I don't think that we're seeing that. So that's my answer on that one. Equinox says, whatever it is, it's worse than the chaos of us not knowing, which means it must be pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, just the idea, not being able to know about what's going on about these drones, even though we received an urgent statement on December 17th by the FAA, FBI, and the DHS. It took them way too long to give an answer. It took, 3.5 weeks for them to say, guys, it's hobbyist balloons, hobbyist drones, it's law enforcement. However, the Pentagon spokesman like Sabrina Singh and John Kirby were like, no, it's not ours. So it's just the narrative has just been so sloppy. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. People don't know where to look. And they shouldn't be looking at the government anyway for answers, to be fair with you. But for me, I like watching them because I like to see how they're trying to push this, the narrative that they're taking, how they're attempting to manipulate the media. And I know they also have the biggest audience. Them just talking about this publicly is allowing people to think to themselves, like, hey, this is actually a topic that we're able to talk about. Like, the stigma isn't as high as it was during, for instance, Project Blue Book, right? So it's interesting just to see how they're holding this conversation. But I've said this 1,000 times and I'll say it again, disclosure will never come from the government. It will come from the people. Maybe it'll even come from science, where they're following the data like the Galileo project. Could it come from another mass sighting? All we can do is just wait and see. I would really like for 2025 to be the year of disclosure, but every year we hear ufologists say this next year is the year, 18 months, we're going to see it. Okay, guys, like, be prepared. Put on your seatbelt because we're going for a ride. And then we're always just incredibly disappointed. So I don't have high expectations, but I'm optimistic simultaneously. DL, thank you. You know, DL's actually been here since almost the beginning as well. This guy's a diehard. It says my favorite stories, Art Blick or Dulce Base. Dulce Base is a good one. It's like it's filled with so much. Got Paul Benowitz, you got Schneider, you got Richard Doty. I mean, that's an intense case. I really like that one too. Stephen, thank you for the super sticker. And the phenomenon with threes instead of E's, thank you. It says Cristina looks like Santa's most beautiful helper elf. Thank you. Merry Xmas. Merry Xmas to you too. I only bring this hat out one time of the year, and that's today. So we'll never see this hat again until next year. Phoenix Lights is the best. Is there really Rome? If I turn around right now, do you think it'll take me? Gonna go for a ride? Because that'd be pretty cool. All right, here's my next question for you. You're walking down the forest. Maybe you, maybe one witness with you. Your partner, your friend, your kid, whatever. And then all of a sudden, this UFO descends onto the ground. Little planks come out, smoke and fog is everywhere. The door slowly opens, and an alien walks out. And he says, "Hey, do you want to go for a ride? Do you want to jump inside of my UFO?" What would you say? Would you say, like, "Hell yeah, let's go"? Or would you be like, I got responsibilities, I can't leave, or I'm nervous, or what if I don't come back, right? The doubt. What would you do? Would you go? Or would you stay on planet Earth? I'd go. Oh, yeah. I have nothing holding me back. I'd be like, let's go, buddy. I always bring my emergency backpack with me everywhere, which has ramen and like packages of water, flashlight, lighter, things like this. You know, gotta have one. And did I say flashlight? That as well. Bring it everywhere with me. I am ready to jump on a UFO, maybe even hijack it if given the opportunity. And I wouldn't come back. It'd be so awesome. Danielle, thank you so much for the super sticker. Merry Christmas. So I got to ask you that question for everyone watching this. And I got to like really go through I've missed a lot of comments. Okay, let's see. WW says, ask him if it's safe for a human. Well, from the stories that we've got of alien abduction so far, we're getting 50-50. Not a lot of people, a chunk of people have kind of positive experiences where they show them the universe, show them their like home planet or how the earth is going to look. And then you have others that are absolutely mortified. So you guys got to take that risk. You got to flip a coin, right? Mark says, really? Stranger danger if it was a van. But see, people are much more of a threat and they're scarier than an alien, I feel. Also, great advice is don't fear the dead. If you see a ghost, people are like screaming and they're like freaking out. No. 9 out of 10 times they can't hurt you. A person, always a threat. They can always hurt you. So don't fear the dead. Fear the living. Cindy, thank you. It's new. This was my Christmas present to me. This UFO light, LED light. It just came in and I'm like, just in time for the show. I think it's very cool as well. I'm so glad you like it. P says safe is relative. Yeah, no, that's accurate. Yeah. Your safe and my safe could be two very different types of safe. Definitely. Scott says, I don't like alien candy. Have you had alien candy? What does it taste like? I don't even know. I'm curious now. To serve man, I know. And that's actually one of my favorite episodes of The Twilight Zone, right next to The Eye of the Beholder. But yes, to serve man, in that episode, they were saying, hey, we're here to help you. Come onto our saucer. We'll give you this new beautiful planet. And then it turns out that they are like literally prisoners and it's a cookbook. Could that happen? Would I take that risk out of curiosity? Yes. I probably shouldn't say that, but I would. Out of curiosity, it would kill me, and I would do it. Colin. Yeah, good job, Derek. It's always important to pack clean underwear. Maybe some extra socks too. You never know, right? Your feet could get wet. Randy, thank you so much for the super sticker. And DL, I meant to say Albic is one of my favorites. Yeah, I like that one. That's the one. Let me just confirm with you. That's the Montauk Project one, right? I feel like it is. That one's pretty interesting. And the viral videos, such a cool name. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says Valiant Thor Strange at the Pentagon, my favorite. Nice. Nice. Steven says there are friendly ghosts. I feel like a good amount of ghosts must be friendly, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, right? At least I have high hopes on that one. Hi from Greece. Hello. So glad you could be here. Got a whole international audience going on over here. That's so awesome. Ooh, Jay says, I watched the Twilight Zone episode called The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. That one isn't ringing a bell to me, but I will say that every single year the Sci-Fi Channel plays the Twilight Zone for 48 hours straight. And it was a tradition for my dad and I to attempt and stay up as long as possible to watch all of the episodes with pineapple pizza and a ton of popcorn and strawberry milkshakes. Pretty good stuff. We would try to stay up, but I still hold that tradition today. Every New Year's, if I can, I'll be like watching every episode. There's a handful that I don't really care for, that I don't like, but there are some that I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how could I forget this episode? It's so good. Love it. Let's see. X, thank you. It says, Merry Christmas, Cristina. May there be peace. Man, I hope there is for everybody. It's such a chaotic world out there that we need peace on the outside, but also on the inside. I feel like our inner worlds are so turbulent these days that we all need that blessing of peace. All of us. So thank you. I don't think everyone answered my question about jumping into a UFO. Let's see. Monsters on Maple Street is alien related. If I probably look at one still image, it would like remind me of the episode, but the title it's escaping me. I don't know it, which makes me feel awful. Like I'm not a real fan. I am a real fan. Love Twilight Zone. What? Wait, did I miss it? Ah, Wesley says, hello from Brazil. Oi, tudo bem? Land of Argenia and Colares. I really like Portuguese. Such a nice language. And pan de queijo and brigadeiros. Okay? So yummy. I could live off of those. And picanha. Also good. Yeah. I could just talk about food all day. Valiant says, Merry Christmas, Earthlings. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Merry Christmas. And Michael, thank you as well. I don't speak French, but I know it says Merry Christmas from Quebec. I took French for several weeks in middle school, and I just cheated off of a French person I sat next to and hoping I would just barely pass. And I did. Barely. But thank you so much for that and for watching the shows and all of you guys for just being here on Christmas. I appreciate it. We're all just hanging out here, having a good time, chatting it out. What beverage do you have with you right now, or what little snack or meal are you eating while you're watching this? I got some chocolate milk with whipped cream and caramel drizzle. Diabetes, but it's so good. Let me keep. Oh my gosh, computer. Are you joking? I played Elite Dangerous and it helped me take down the Titan that invaded our solar system. So that was really fun. And their heart looks like a pineapple. I really enjoy playing Elite Dangerous. It's like one of my favorite pastimes. And it really just helps me relax. I enjoyed and also hated fighting the Thargoids, but when we finally kicked out the Titan from our solar system, I felt like so much relief. Really did. And for those that play Elite Dangerous, join my squadron. Check out my Discord server. I have a whole section for Elite Dangerous. I know I got a few of my players here. Shout out to Chris and Tyler. Come join the squadron. We have so much fun. And I will that Discord link is in the description box below. If you look at Christina's social media links, you'll find it right there. It's worth it. It's a really fun space game. Kevin says, I've played it. It's so good. I like it. MMCC says, sipping a Diet Coke here. Greetings from Ireland. Father Ted? Do you watch Father Ted? It's like the Irish show, right? Please say yes. Mountain Dew, nice. Nice green drink. Jay, Christmas Day tradition, ordering Chinese food. I have a story for you, because that's what we're doing here today. Also, CM, thank you. Hi, and Merry Christmas. Right back at you. Thank you so much. So here's my story. So while I don't celebrate Christmas, like really ever, every year I used to celebrate Thanksgiving with my dad. And what we would do is we would actually volunteer at a food shelter every single year. I wake up at 5 a.m., volunteer, give out food, cook, and whatever we could do. And after we would do that, it was like midday, we would immediately run on over to a Chinese buffet that was the only restaurant open during Thanksgiving, and just pig out on Chinese food every single year. So I wasn't really ever big on like eating turkey and stuff. It was always Chinese food. And even up until today, while I don't do that with him anymore, Chinese food is where it's at for Thanksgiving. And I feel like for Christmas, if it's open, go for it. Every day, you can have Chinese food. So yummy. MMCC says, of course, Father Ted is the best. Today or tonight, I'm going to be watching the Christmas special where they're stuck in a department in the mall. Yeah, good stuff with pizza. No, popcorn, not pizza. With popcorn. Nom nom. Junior West says, we had Chinese too. It's so. What is your favorite Chinese dish? I love ramen's Japanese, but I like noodles. Chow mein, so good. I'll usually try, like, if the person that I'm talking to is from China, I'll make sure to ask just to be safe. I'll attempt to practice my Mandarin with them, and I get one of two responses. I either get like, you speak Chinese? And I'm like, no, not really, but I'm trying. And the other response is, I speak English. You don't have to try. And I said, but let me just try, please. I really need to practice. So I get both responses. And if I feel really lazy, English. Okay. And I will just hope for the best. But I took Mandarin for like 6 years or so. And I know almost nothing, but I can understand. Like, if you were to talk to me like an infant, like a preschooler, I can understand it. If you speak to me very slowly. But do not throw me in mainland China. I will cry because I can't speak it for the life of me or save me enough to like know it. Ooh, chicken chow fun. Chicken chow mein or chicken and hot sour soup. Yeah, good stuff. I like those things too. Ooh, crab wontongs. No, that's not what it said. Rangoons. But also I feel like crab wontongs are delicious. And I was thinking that when I was reading it, and that's why I said it. But rangoons are good too. Mushu burritos. I haven't tried that. That sounds like an interesting Chinese Mexican mix, and I'm for it. Sounds great, actually. Ooh, steamed dumplings. Yes. I love steamed dumplings. I love fried dumplings. I love gyoza, which are like Japanese pan-fried dumplings. Oh, love dumplings, but I can't make them. I've tried, and mine just always come out gross. Egg chop soup, says Jam. I love how we're talking about food. Like, even though this is a UFO channel, we talk about UFOs like almost every day. Today is food day. It's not even Christmas. It's what's your favorite dish? And I respect that. I love everyone's comments here, just sharing their favorite dishes that are Chinese. Awesome. Dim sum. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Love that one. Also, pizza. Classic. Can't go wrong with some pizza. Steamed fried dumplings. Ah, you guys are making me so hungry, like sharing your favorite dishes. I'm not going to, but I almost want to call the Chinese restaurant and say, hey, I want one of everything, please. That's not happening. Popcorn is for dinner tonight. And I made today some flan, some quesillo. It was my mom's recipe, and I made it today. And it came out okay. You know, your parents' cooking is always better than yours, but it came out kind of good. For the holidays, right? Gotta make that one special dish. Lasagna. Oh, pad thai. Well, that's Thai, but it's still delicious. Love it. So nom nom. Tamales. I want to make them, but I'm intimidated. I have like all these recipes saved. I have all these videos saved. I have all the ingredients that I bought from the store. And I just haven't sat down and told myself, Cristina, you can do it. You can do it. I haven't had that pep talk yet. So I haven't made them. Flan, yes, says Dusty. Flan is good. Flan can be good and can be gross simultaneously. But I do like it. Mick bringing in a Father Ted joke. Love it. Brownie points right there. Oh, Renee is still with the broken arm. I still gotta know what happened. You told me this, was it yesterday or a few days ago? And I'm still in the dark. What happened to you? How did you break your arm? So sad. Like, I'm really sorry. I've broken my arm and wrist when I was younger, and I don't ever want to do that again. It's terrible. And when you get older, it's just worse. Tiramisu, says Dan. Nom 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 nom. I like it. More tiramisu, says Luis. Nice. Or is it Lewis? Lewis or Luis? You tell me. Homemade cheesecake? Nom. Shepherd's pie? I've only ever... This is going to sound like blasphemy, but I've only ever tried like the frozen versions of shepherd's pie, and it's gross. I love the concept of shepherd's pie, but I've never tried it fresh. Don't tell any British person that, okay? Like, they will feed me to the pigeons. So we'll keep that secret between you and I. Oh, nice, Steven. My Chinese food literally just arrived. Merry Science Fiction Christmas. That's actually awesome. What did you get? Oh, I gotta know now. What did they bring you? Everyone's still just sharing their Chinese dishes. I love how we're all on the same wavelength here. How we all just appreciate food the way that we do. I love this community. I love this group that we've made and created. There are some, platforms that are full of negativity. And I've seen it on other people's channels as well when I've been a guest or visiting, right? And then I look at the community that you and I made, and it's overwhelmingly positive. Yes, you get one or two negative Nancy poopy Nancers, whatever they're called. They can go away. But overall, you guys are just so amazing, on the ball, so kind, so respectful, not only to me, but the people I have on. Yesterday, the interview with Fernando Hildebrandt aired. He's a UFO investigator, journalist, and researcher from Argentina. And I'm not even joking. There were 100 comments. Every single one was positive. And I thought, you guys are just amazing. Really, like, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you guys and just bringing your optimism and your kindness here and not being trolls. I like that too. Ice cream waffle. Ooh, that sounds good. I like that, Charles. That sounds very yummy. Kindness all the way, says Ulf. That's what I'm saying, right? AJ says, that was a fascinating interview. If you haven't seen it, take a look at it. It's about an hour and 10 minutes long, give or take. And he talks about either his own experiences or his family experiences with UFOs and then famous UFO cases in Argentina. A lot of the times when we think of UFO researchers, we think of the United States and then Jacques Vallée, right? He's the outcast here, but he's been in the States for decades. But I really enjoyed bringing people from outside of the US, Fernando being one of them, Ronnie Vernet, the Brazilian UFO researcher as well, that are coming from the top of my head. One of the first people I've had on was Jin Woo, a UFO researcher from South Korea. These are people that you're not going to see every day on YouTube, on, UFO people people's channels, right? I really, really like bringing in the international perspective, the global perspective, not just the US, not just the UK, but everywhere in between. And I will say this, it's a little teaser actually. I have some interviews in the works. They've already been recorded that are going to be very interesting that you don't want to miss, that are also international. But there is some breaking news. I interviewed the scientists involved in the pterodactyl mummies about the tests conducted, the results, and much of which is very, very shocking. And it's not covered anywhere else on mainstream media. I will be posting that soon. I spoke to almost all of the scientists involved with these pterodactyl mummies, aka known as the Nazca bodies, right? Right now, I am dubbing them, which is taking me a lot of time to do, from Spanish to English, and trying to make it as accurate as possible. But those are interviews that I'm telling you, you don't want to miss. I was very shocked and surprised with the information that they gave to me. And I think it's going to sway people in a certain way of like, hey, maybe they're not cakes that we saw the memes about. Maybe these things are legit, but the different scientists gave me different answers because they have 12 bodies in their possession, and they're in categories. They have mentioned to me that some of them have been here for hundreds of thousands of years and they're like hybrids, while other ones might actually be extraterrestrial. It just depends on which ones they're studying. But these are credible scientists. They know their stuff. They tell us their background, who they work for, the companies or the universities that they work at. You'll see that you'll see those explanations in the interviews when they're published here. These are not your Joe Blows. These are people that are putting their credentials on the line. And so I'm excited to share that with you. They're just taking me a long time to dub over, to get the subtitles correct and things like this, because I want to give you the absolute most accurate stuff that I can. It's important to me to give you the facts, right? To talk to people that are in the know, not just someone that says, "Oh, I have my opinion on this." I don't want the opinion. I want the data. I want the tests. I want those actually looking at these things. And so I've had the pleasure to speak to a lot of them, which again will be shared shortly, hopefully soon, very soon. And let me just kind of go through the chat here. I want to say happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, happy holidays for those just joining in on this stream. It's a very casual day, a very coffee and chat kind of vibe. Nothing serious. We're just having a good time spending Christmas together. Let's see. Oh, and if you have questions, we can make this into an AMA if you like. Place them in all caps. It's a lot easier for me to read as we're getting just so many chats here. Yes, place them in all caps for me, please. This way I can find them and address them almost immediately. Feliz Navidad, da, 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 says DL. Yes, and it's actually a good song. I do like it. I'm not fond of Christmas music, but that one I can jam to. That one's good. Merry Christmas, Jessica. So good to see you here. I know you have your hands full. You got a family. I know that Santa Claus came. So thank you for being here and joining the stream with us. Merry Christmas, says Champemp. Nice. You know, this person's also been here since almost the beginning. I remember this name. Earlier, I asked people how long have they been on this channel, watching this, been subscribed. Champemp is been here a very long time, and DL and a few others as well. Happy Christmas, says Duckhead. Happy Christmas. Bruh, I actually don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't answer that one. But I'll have to write it down in my notes to look it up. I did. Ghost stories? Should I tell you my favorite ghost story, my personal story? I'll tell it to you. Because we're just chilling here. We're just casually hanging out. I don't share this story too often, but I had a haunted vacuum once. Here's the story. I was in college and I had no money to buy a vacuum. None. So I went ahead and I was sitting next to this girl in one of my classes who had her own apartment and she had a vacuum. And I said, hey, do you mind if I borrow it? Just give me a few hours and I'll return it back to you. She's like, Cristina, no problem. Just come on over, pick it up, and then drop it off. And I'm like, sweet, thank you. Fast forward to the story. I won't give the full length story. Fast forward, I pick up the vacuum, I put it in my car, and when I was driving home, I just had this eerie feeling like there was someone sitting in the car with me, and I thought, dude, it's just me. And it's a 2-seater car. Like, it's impossible. So I brushed it off. At this time, I didn't really believe in gut feelings. I wasn't too familiar with paranormal research or anything like that. And I just didn't really care to think about anything other than vacuuming the house and then returning it to her, right? So that was already just a weird start. Then I come home, I put the vacuum in the corner, and I start organizing the place so that it'll be ready to do the job, right? To clean up. And then while this is all happening, at the time I had this huge, like 1-pound candle sitting on top of the toilet in the bathroom. And this thing is heavy, okay? I'm fixing up the stuff in the living room, in the kitchen, getting ready to vacuum. And then I hear this dropping sound. And I'm like, what the heck was that? I walk over and the candle fell into the trash can. And I said, that's weird. That's actually very strange. There's no wind in the bathroom. There was no earthquake. There was no reason for this super heavy candle that's in glass to fall into the trash can. I put it back up and I don't think twice. It happens again, a second time. And I thought, no, this is absolutely strange. Then I go to my internet knowledge. Okay, this is a Ghost Adventures, right? And I thought, there's a demon in my house. I must get the salt. And I start like salting all of my doors and windows. But see, I didn't do it correctly. I was seasoning the carpet instead of putting like strips of salt. And then on top of that, I was salting the whole house. Practically, if we follow the logic, trapping this entity inside of my home, giving it access to everything instead of just in the bathroom. So that was terrible. And then I thought, okay, let me play some music or some kind of chant to attempt and remove this entity. Because again, I had no knowledge in paranormal investigations. Now I do. I didn't then. And so I start playing this kind of music, this chant, and I hear this screeching sound come out of the computer, and I thought, that's weird. That shouldn't even be a part of the audio. After this happens, I immediately call that girl and I said, hey, I'm dropping off your vacuum. I don't want it here anymore. She says, no, Cristina, just keep it until the morning. It's like 10 p.m. It's super late. Just drop it off. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm dropping it off tonight. She did not take that as an answer. So I ended up putting it in a storage unit, just like right outside. And I said, hey, look, vacuum and whatever is attached to this vacuum, you are going to stay here until the morning. You will not disturb my sleep, okay? You're going to leave me alone, and I'm going to drop you back off to your owner first thing in the morning. The sun comes up, and I am speeding to this woman's place. And I said, here's your vacuum. Also, never talk to me again. I feel terrible about that, actually. Years later, this is years later. Actually, recently, this is a few months ago. I was at the grocery store doing my stuff, buying my groceries, and the cashier's helping me out. I'm like, this girl looks really familiar. Who is she? Then she smiles and I'm like, you're the haunted vacuum girl. No flipping way. Now, I didn't actually say that to her face because she looked different. Usually after university, many times you get into a relationship and you just look different from how you did your freshman, sophomore year. So I didn't recognize her at first. And when I did, I grabbed my groceries and I walked away as fast as I could because I thought if I stay any longer, I'll start interviewing her. I'll start asking her questions, but the line is way too long. So I'm not going to do that. And that's my ghost story. Rob, thank you. It says Merry Christmas, Cristina and chat. And then it says Bigfoot, Michigan, Rob. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Merry Christmas to you too. And I hope that you're also having an amazing time with you and your family and everything's going well for you. Sorry, that's my haunted vacuum story. I have several, but that one's like my favorite by far. And I don't again share too often, but when I do, it's just funny to me every time. Because I just think of how dumb I was and how ignorant I was at the time, and how I would handle the situation so differently now. Carpet ghost? Man, I was very upset because I had to re-vacuum the whole place because I had seasoned the carpet with salt. So dumb. I'm just trying to catch up on the comments. Dan, thank you. It says, Merry Xmas, Cristina. It's been great watching the Gomez empire grow these past few years. First the empire, then the world. Oh yeah. And January is going to be interesting. With some interesting news for you guys if it all goes well. I hope. But yes, everything is going nicely. Things are growing well here. Could it be faster? Absolutely, but it's doing pretty good. So thank you for being here all this time, really. Duckhead says, I should season my carpet. You know those powders that have the cleaning smell? I don't even know what it's called, but my mom used to do this all the time. And I feel like it's a very like Latin thing to do. Mexico and South America, where you buy this like powdery soap for your carpet and you just drizzle it everywhere like you're making some kind of curry and then you vacuum it. I feel like it's the same kind of vibe, but this time I did it with salt instead of that powdery soap. Wish I were witty. That's funny. I like that name. You actually made it to a live stream. Merry Christmas. I'm so glad you can make it. That's so cool. Yeah, so bad for your carpet. I was also sad, to be fair with you. That salt was there for a long time. Shake it back. Nice. Fresh carpet. Yes. Burn some sage. I did. I think I did that. That smells great, actually. I really enjoy the smell of sage. Bad backpacker says salted carpet is not delicious. No, yeah, don't try it. Not yummy. I'm going to ask my question again. What are you drinking? What are you eating as you're watching this stream today? It's Christmas. We're just hanging out, having a good time, chatting about anything and everything. And if you have a question, place it in all caps and I'll be able to address it. It'll be a lot easier for me to see. As I drink mine, chocolate milk with caramel drizzle and whipped cream. So yummy. Just finished the Mountain Dew, says DL. Nice. Oh, this is just chocolate milk. Yeah, no, nothing like that. We don't do that here, especially we never do that live. I have gotten that advice before of never do a stream drunk. Now I don't drink either. It's a very rare occasion for me, like very rare. But no, never do anything drunk. You'll usually regret it. So we don't do that here. Red Bull sugar free. I've not heard of that. I didn't know it could even be sugar free. Very cool stuff, Jay. I had hot cocoa with soy milk. Nice. Jenna says, "What's your favorite holiday tradition?" So, when it comes to Thanksgiving, when I was younger, I mentioned this earlier, it was eating Chinese food at a Chinese buffet. My favorite thing on the planet after working at giving food to the homeless. Really enjoyed doing that. When it comes to Christmas, I've never really been one to celebrate it. Even when I was younger, I never really loved it. I was usually forced to do interactions that I didn't want to do. And I feel like we've all been in that situation. So when I got older, I was like, don't take me, don't talk to me. I don't want to hang out. I want to be at home watching movies in bed. And now that I'm an adult, it's so much better because I don't have to make any of those obligations. But my favorite holiday tradition for December, it's watching Father Ted the last few years and the Christmas special episode where they're stuck in the mall. It's my favorite, and they get the Golden Cleric Award. Well, not they, Father Ted. So that's my tradition. What's yours? I want to hear yours, Jenna. And Merry Christmas from Australia. I'm glad we have an Aussie here because they can vouch that Santa Claus wears swimming trunks in Australia versus a whole suit and with snow and stuff. Oh, and it's become a new tradition actually, Jenna, is watching the Pink Panther, but the old movies from the 60s and 70s, I think, with Inspector Clouseau. And I'm just a salty old sea dog. Yeah, I really like that. So funny. And then you have never mind. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's so funny. I just watched the first one a few days ago. Now I'm watching the second one today for Christmas because it's just classic stuff. It's so funny. Old humor was the good humor. Would I try ET cuisine? I will try any food once, Super Crazy Movie Geek. Unless it has pickles. I absolutely despise pickles. I will try any food once, okay? I'm adventurous like that. I don't know what it is, but anything that is pickled, I can't stand it. And I'll try it. I will. It's awful to me. And then I came across this idea that there's pickled snow cones. That blew my mind in the worst kind of way. I was like, why would you do that to yourself? But I know I stand alone on that one. There's a lot of pickle lovers here, so I won't be too harsh. But I don't know what it is. I can't do it. Fried eggs on stuffing. Dusty, that sounds good. Simple coffee. Nice. Fade to black style. Good stuff. Orange milkshake. Kind of like an orange cream float. Those are good. I like those. Gary, thank you. It says, Merry Christmas, fellow human. Merry Christmas, fellow human, Gary. Thank you for that. Taryn says, what would intergalactic beings bring for Christmas presents? If I was witty, I'd give you this super cool pun, but I'm not. I wish I was. I wish I was witty and funny, but I'm neither of those things. So if I had to be an honest response, I would probably say a like a cuisine, like an actual food to eat, or some super advanced technology that we would classify as magic? I know, that was like a super lame answer. I wish I did a good pun. I'm just not fast enough for those kinds of things. But still a good question. Strawberry milk would be great about now. Strawberry milk is so good. Strawberry milkshakes. Those are delicious. Really like those. Nick, don't be telling my secrets to people, okay? That's between you and I. Shh, don't tell anybody. Love Ted, says Pathfinder. It's good stuff. For me, it's Die Hard. I know there's this I've never seen Die Hard, but I know there's this debate of people saying it's a Christmas movie and that it's not. But I feel like more people are leaning it being a Christmas movie. But I have yet to see it, so I cannot place my opinion on that one. Let's see. Die Hard is also my favorite Christmas movie, says Nick. Seeing a lot of Die Hard fans. Kato! Yes, Dusty! From Pink Panther and Clouseau. Actually, those scenes are so funny with him and Kato. So good. I'm looking forward to watching it tonight. I really am. Bit says Santa's too afraid of delivering to Australia. Yeah, all like the weird creatures that are there, I can get it. But I feel like also the Amazon is pretty scary too. Balloons. You really put me on the spot there. I would never. I couldn't. I wouldn't. For those that don't know, it's a Philippine cuisine dish specialty of an egg that's boiled, but it's an almost fully fertilized egg. So it's like there's literally a baby chicken there that hasn't fully developed. I couldn't do it. Like crunchy cartilage bones and beak and no. I wouldn't. When I did the episode of the Manananggal, there were recent sightings just earlier this year. There was this connection between this entity, which is able to separate its torso from its legs, and it has wings. And this Manananggal, it feeds off of usually fetuses or the phlegm of sick people, according to the folklore from the Philippines. There's this connection between balut and the Manananggal that sometimes the balut can repel this vampiric entity, or it would kind of help you attract this creature. But also it's meant to like give you brain power. A lot of students eat it before exams, like finals and midterms. I wouldn't. Look it up. For those that don't know what it is, look up balut. It's spelled Balut. You will be scarred for life. I know I was. Don't recommend. I would. Ice cream, yes. What about deviled eggs? No. Not really too fond. Ew, pickle flavored chips? No, that's gross. Gizmo says, to the new year, it's gonna be cosmic. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Jenna, thank you. It says for ramen and to watch Die Hard. Okay, now I have to. Jenna, you really put me on the spot here. Now I'll have to watch Die Hard. Maybe not today, because I already have an appointment with Father Ted and Clouseau. But maybe tomorrow I might watch it. And thank you. Just thank you so much. Let's see. Have any of you guys ever heard of balut before? Before I even move on. Yeah, yuck. No, stop, says Chris. I know I'm behind on these chats, but I'm trying to catch up with you guys. And I feel like a lot of you are saying that it's disgusting. It's gross. I wouldn't eat it. But see, Colin, this is Colin's fault. He put us all on the spot to talk about balut. So don't look at me. Don't blame the messenger, right? I'm just kidding, Colin. I would do that to you. I would not throw you under the bus like that, like I just did. Fritos and Tabasco. I haven't tried that. That sounds interesting. I like the idea of like Fritos and chili. You eat it from the bag and you have like a that's cool. I like doing that when I was younger. I haven't done that in years now. Cheesy scrambled eggs, says Joe. Mmm, yummy. Do you like Korean instant noodles? Yes, but I'm not really fond of the like the little rice cakes that are Korean. I tried those. To be fair, they came from a bag, so I don't they weren't fresh, so I didn't like the ones that I had. But yes, Korean instant noodles are good. I do like those. Jay says my sister-in-law is Filipina. Does she eat balut is the question. Want to know that? And I know that the legend of the Manananggal is very popular. Like it's well known amongst citizens there. It's kind of like La Llorona for people of Mexico or the south of the U.S., like Texas and New Mexico. You know, when you bring up La Llorona, people are like, "Oh my gosh, yes, of course I know about it." I feel like the Manananggal is pretty has that similar effect to those in the Philippines, from my understanding, looking at this from a outsider's view. Hi, alien world. Good to see you. No, bit. Never ever. I would not do that. That's in my category with pickles. Like I wouldn't eat balut and I wouldn't eat pickles. What? She does eat balut, but my brother does not. You know, I guess if you like grew up with it, it's like the idea that not everyone likes octopus tentacles, but some people do because they grew up on it. I feel like it's a similar vibe, but still kind of gross. Like calamari, not horrible, but like raw. No, no raw octopus tentacles. That's. I'm gonna stop it right there. We're not gonna continue with that thought. Merry Christmas. Good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, pickled eggs are out of the equation, Marty. Anything pickled. That even includes kimchi. Don't like that either. Anything. Olives, I don't like those. Anything pickled. Fermented. Tofu is fermented. I do like tofu, but that's about it. No, bro. What? Do I know some French dishes? Yeah, macaroons. Those are French. Baguettes, croissants. Yeah, those are French. Um, creme brulee is French. I'm pretty well rounded on this topic, as you can tell. Actually, that's everything I can think of. There's a lot more that are dessert related that I could probably name, but they're all escaping me. You put me on the spot there. The black cat the black cat that was my stutter. The black cat says, I love kimchi. You know, if you grow up with it, it's great. The spice level is awesome, but the pickled part just isn't for me. French fries, delicious. All the time, never fails. Fries? Steak fries? Also yummy. Happy Christmas, says Chroma. Happy Christmas. French fries. Getting a lot of French fries. Custard, classic. Love Spanish food? Oh, yes. Anything from Latin America, I am all over it. So yummy. Of course, I'm biased. I grew up on Venezuelan food, so I love all of that. But I really enjoy Mexican food. I really like Brazilian food. So yummy. And I've tried a little bit of Peruvian food, and it's pretty good as well. I like that. And then I'm not fond of food from Spain. I do like tortas. No, that's Mexican. No, what are those? What are those? They're like samples, and it's like a little tortilla chip, and they put stuff on top. I think it's called tortas tostadas, tapas, tapas. Yeah, I like those. Those are yummy. Rick is asking a very serious question. Has Puck had a good Christmas? He has. Look at him. Look at his smile. Look how good he's doing. Puck's had a great Christmas. Yes, duck tapas. See? On the same wavelength. We knew what it was called. We just couldn't pull it out of our little brain. Italian food, yes. All of it delicious. Picanha? Indian food? Yes. If it's not like super duper sweet, I like it. But I haven't mastered my curry yet. I have tried so many different times to make a good authentic Indian curry, and they're always like mediocre. They're never flavorful or savory enough when I put, I'm telling you, like a whole pack of seasonings, plural. It's never as good as at a restaurant. I haven't achieved that yet. Tortillas. Yummy. Like those. Tapas. I'm behind on this chat. Hold on. Let's go to the bottom. The Black Cat says, I love anything from Japan. You and me both, as long as it's cooked. I'm not super fond of sushi or like anything that's raw. That's just me. But anything cooked, Japanese food is where it's at. Thai curry, duck head, yummy, yummy, yummy. I love how we're still talking about food. Honestly, this is awesome. Mac and cheese, classic. Love it. I know, me too, Weasley. I'm also very hungry. Or Wesley, sorry. I'm also very hungry. No, Puck has been so good. See, he's actually sitting next to the UFO. He's doing great. He no longer sits on my microphone because of the cords, so he can fall off and break bones. So now he sits in the back, and he has a good time over there. He's a bit shy, so we like to have him back there. Quesadillas? Ah, yeah, love quesadillas. I used to work at Chipotle forever ago. It's my first jobs, actually, and I would make a really mean quesadilla. It was like cheese, grilled onions, corn, a little bit of sofritas, and then a guacamole. Good stuff. That was awesome. Ice cream apple pie. Ooh, that does sound good. You guys are so funny with all your little food comments. See, we can be UFO enthusiasts and food enthusiasts, culinary enthusiasts. You're a chef. You know how to cook, and you are so in tuned with your taste buds. You know what's good and what's not good. And I respect that. I like that. And everyone's just sharing their stuff. Love it. See, that's a good secret recipe, says Chris. It is. Very nom nom. Really like it. If you're enjoying our fun Christmas live stream, hit that like button right down below. Let's get to 1,000 likes. And subscribe if you haven't already. These interactions that we're having today are pretty rare, actually. And so it's really fun just to be able to interact with you like this on a very personal level versus sharing UFO cases or UFO updates with you, but just getting to know you, getting to know, in this case, your taste buds. I really like it. I hope you do as well. Ooh, chunky or smooth peanut butter. I don't mind peanut butter, but I'm not like, I don't eat it by the spoon. So both are okay. I have a story for you. I used to have a friend. So let me back this up. In my youth, the people I surrounded myself with were usually from Latin America or from the Middle East. And so I had this one friend who was American, like from the United States, born and raised. She was actually one of my very few American friends. I went to her house for the first time. This was like when I was about maybe 13 or 14. And I never really knew the like customs of American households aside from what I saw on television of like milk before bed, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and things like this. I had never had a PB&J sandwich until I went to this girl's house. And we were hanging out. The mom's like, "Guys, there's snack. It's ready for you." And then she put on this table like white bread. jam and peanut butter and a glass of milk. And I said, this is like in the movies. This is real life. I was so excited to try this PB&J because it's forbidden in my home. It was horrible. I was so shocked in how sweet it was, and I thought, y'all eat this every day or like consistently. This is horrible. And then a glass of milk to wash it down. I ate that thing so fast so that it wouldn't touch my taste buds. And I didn't want to look like an ungrateful, horrible guest. So I ate it. And I'm like, She's like, oh, did you like it? Do you want another one? And I'm like, no, please. Please do not curse me with another one of these. And that was one of the first times. That was the first time I've ever had a PB&J sandwich. Or actually, really just having, yeah, no, that was gross. And I've never had it since. Because that memory was enough for me. I mean, that was just pure sugar. I don't know how you do it. But you could say the same about me. Like, there are some dishes that I eat on the daily, and you guys will say, what are you on, Cristina? That is so weird. But I will never forget that experience. It was shocking. Yeah, forbidden PB&J. First and last time for me. Yeah. Yeah, Christina having a sugar crash after a PB&J. It hit hard when I was 13, 14. I was like, and y'all eat this on the daily? I was shocked. I know, bruh. Yeah, they're so accustomed to sugar. I mean, same. But you're right. Ooh, Donald says Cinnamon Toast Crunch was a daily childhood treat. Ah, that's good. I didn't have it in my home. It was more of like Cheerios, but from time to time, that was an absolute treat. I hear you on that one. Ooh, Nutella and Coca-Cola, says Ross. I like the Nutella on toast or just on a spoon. Yes, on bananas. Delicious. So good. I'm trying to catch up on your guys' chats because you're making me laugh with some of these PB&J comments and just food in general. Let's see. Cam says, you need a good one. Your tastes will change. I don't know. It's just sugar on white bread. I think I'm gonna pass. I mean, if it was given to me, I would eat it. I was always taught that if someone offers you food and they put in the effort to make it or purchase it for you, you should eat it. So I did, and I still practice that for the most part. Unless the person is sketchy, then I'll say no. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But like someone that I know that were to offer me food, I'll say thank you, even though it might not follow my dietary preferences. They put in the effort to make it or to get it for me, and I appreciate those gestures. So I'll eat it, even if I don't love it. It's fuel either way, right? It gets the job done of just filling that little hole in your tummy. Grilled PB&J is awesome. I have never heard of such sorcery before. A grilled PB&J. I like grilled cheese sandwiches. Delicious. But I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, Vegemite. No, I'm with you on that one, Scorpio. It's not like Nutella. Like, because it's the same color, similar consistency, and then you go for it and you're like, whoa, this is salty. It's a shocker for the first time when you're so used to Nutella. There's actually no comparison between the two. Peanut M&Ms by the kilo. Peanut M&Ms are good. I do like those too. Duck, what are you on? Peanut butter, pickles, and bacon on toast? Those are like opposite flavors. I have never heard of something like that. That's crazy. Very weird, actually. Here's my next question for you. We're just hanging out. I mean, we're doing this for what, 2 hours? That's a long time. But my next question for you, we've asked, how long have you been watching this show? We've had a lot of people since forever, 4 years, up until 1 year. I asked your favorite UFO case. I asked you what you're drinking or eating, which you can still answer those questions right down below. Now, my next question for you is, what case, UFO case, do you think needs the most attention, that isn't getting the attention that it needs? I want to hear that one. Because, of course, you can talk about Roswell forever, the Phoenix Lights, and all these things that we mentioned a little bit earlier about your favorite case. But there are some cases that, like, we know of, like, we know the title, but we don't know that much about them. That's what I want to hear from you. Your favorite, not your favorite, the case that needs the most attention. Charles says, a subscriber for 1 year. It's a long time. Thank you for being here and just hanging out with us. That's so awesome. Alien World, about 2 years I've been watching your show. Thank you. 6 months maybe? Dusty, you're new. Merry Christmas. Love it. Jay says, the Tic Tac, the Go Fast, and the Gimbal. Well, let me just mention this. During the Arrow hearing that was run by Kirsten Gillibrand, Dr. John Kozlowski said, we already figured out the Go Fast. We already figured out the Aguadilla case. Nothing to worry about here. Now, I don't actually believe him. He gave such limited information, and his report was also too limited to give us an answer that he solved the mystery of those very famous UFO cases that have been recorded and released to the public. So I would also like more information on that as well. And also how Kozlowski came up with those, conclusions that he had. Which, by the way, I do write articles for all of the things that are mentioned here on this channel. You can find it on my website at ufonews.co, which also covers all the UFO news from around the world. Highly recommend that you look it over and that you bookmark it. But when it comes to like these Arrow reports and meetings and hearings and all these things, I write articles about them. You can find it on ufonews.co or on Medium at Cristina Gomez, and those links are in the description box below for times where like you just don't have time to watch a show and you want it in written format. I totally get that, especially if you're doing research. I get it. Read my articles. They're short, they're sweet, they're to the point, and they're information rich and also source rich as well. Bad Backpacker, your name is an absolute tongue twister. Thank you for being a YouTube member. But I will not say your name 3 times fast because it's hard to say just once. Gaz says, been watching for nearly 2 years. In so many ways, it makes me blush that you guys have stuck around all this time. 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 6 months even. Dusty, I'm looking at you. It makes me feel honored that you take the time out of your day to watch my stuff, to follow my research. I appreciate it. So thank you guys. And excuse me for like little nasally nose happening on me. Who else is chilling at home by yourself? Me? Are you talking about me or like other people? Because right now it's me and Puck. Or hanging out with you guys. So that's always nice. Sweetly says 3 to 4 years. Duckhead says a year or so. Oh, like 2 weeks? Sneak up behind you like John Wilkes Booth. What a funny name. That's actually so morbid. That shouldn't even be funny, but that's really funny. Welcome to the channel. I have never seen your name before. Oh my god, I'm pink like a tomato. Thank you for being here and joining the channel. Your name is so funny, and I shouldn't be laughing, but it's hilarious. Cliff, thank you so much for the super sticker, and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for being here. Excuse me. Am I okay? Not at this point. That name was too funny. Okay, Jay says 2 years because you are a legit Source. I like how we still use legit because I use it and it's like not a common phrase, any common word, but it should be. Like legitimately, legit. Yes, I use it. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. 3 years, I think. Heck yeah, Hex. That's awesome. NB says, nah, it's a top tier name. It's pretty good. Legit is legit. Yeah, it is. Definitely. Too legit to quit. Now we're all using the word legit. Let's just replace it in our vocabulary. Like put it in our vocabulary again. It's important. Ross, thank you so much for the super sticker. AJ, yes. I think I know you're a Patreon member, so you already know this, but so for the last 2 years I was like, "Hey, I really want to get an RV. I want to travel to the US, hit all the hot spots and buy my own." Things haven't panned out the way that I was hoping them to. Inflation has just been really intense, to be honest. And RVs are a lot more expensive, and they only get more expensive as the years progress, plus the insurance, everything in between. So I actually won't be purchasing one, writing my name on it. So instead, I'll actually be renting an RV, hopefully in the near future. But that money that I place aside of purchasing an RV, will be going to good equipment, better equipment than what I have and that what I was planning on getting. So overall, it balances itself nicely. I'll be renting an RV, purchasing good investigative equipment like infrared cameras and things like this, thermal cameras as well. And then renting, it just seems like not only a more financially wise idea, but also if any issues occur with the RV, like it breaks down, which seems like it happens often, I can just return it back to the company and get another one, right? So overall, that's the path that we're going to be taking. So when I go on these adventures, you'll be coming along with me. It's just been postponed longer than I hoped and longer than I anticipated, but it's still in the works. Colin, thank you so much for being a YouTube member and bringing up Balut. It's your fault. It's your fault. And we had a whole conversation about it. But thank you so much for being a member. I appreciate you. And everyone watching this live, hanging out with us on Christmas Day. Thank you guys. And now that I've just been talking for almost 2 hours, my words are not coming out as strong as they did an hour ago. Because when it just happens. It just happens from time to time. And now you'll really be able to see the stutter and speech impediment in all of its glory if I don't stay like fully mindful on it. Yeah, Marty says, I think that renting an RV is smart. I think so too. I mean, I really had to swallow my pride on changing that idea of purchasing an RV to renting it. But overall, it's a financially much smarter idea. Excuse me with my nose. Drive through Area 51. That's not how it works, but I can try. Give it a shot, right? Worst that can happen is going to jail. Kidding. I would never do that. I'm not going to do that. That's terrible. I don't want to be on the blacklist. Okay? The only way I wouldn't do it. Nothing can bribe me to do that. Thank you, Colin. No, we don't, Mark. We don't have to do that. We'll never do that, right? I don't think you can even find those here in the US. It's probably illegal to make balut here in the States. Storm it. Yeah, no. That was what, 2019? 2019, right? It got millions of likes and people were like ready to go to it and showed an interest. And only 100 people showed. I vaguely remember seeing that in the news when it happened, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" But I didn't go either. I was like, "I have a job to do. I have work to do. I can't go." And so I didn't. And most people didn't. Cam says you should travel in a hot air balloon. That would be so cool, but also I feel like very slow. But I would try just for fun sometime. It says, sounds like a horror movie. Balut. Yeah, I can see that. Bit freaky. No way, Marty. My son recently saw Balut in a store here in I'm guessing that's North California, right? Of course it was in California, but still, like, vomit worthy. That's gross. I don't think a lot of you guys answered my question on out of all the UFO cases that we know about, which one do you think deserves the most attention? I wanna read it in the chat. Maybe we'll do a show on it here. So I wanna know. Peace, what's on your mind? Absolutely not. Pickled balut with peanut butter, yay or nay? Nay. And I'm a horse over here. I don't think so. White House UFOs in 1950s. Ah, that was an interesting case. 1952. Yeah, the UFO flap. That one, I think it doesn't get enough attention. People will mention it from time to time, but don't go into detail on it. I feel like we got to cover it more. We've covered it here, obviously, several times, but I get what you mean. I'm seeing a lot of LOLs. The 2009 Needles, California incident. From the title, it's actually not ringing a bell, so I'll have to look into that one. Maybe if I saw, like, if it had like another incident name, maybe I might know it. I mean, 2009 California, like that's ringing a bell, but the Needles part isn't. But it's probably somewhere in my notes, somewhere in my documents. Cliff says Travis Walton is a good one, but it's been so thoroughly bleached. I get that. If you are enjoying this live chat, hanging out on Christmas, hit that like button right down below. Let's get to 1,000 likes. Right now we have about 850. So we're pretty close to our goal. Almost streaming for 2 hours. Dang, that's like my longest stream of just one-on-one like this. Pretty awesome, actually. Japan UFO says duckweed. Duckhead. I know what you mean. I wish we covered more Japanese UFO sightings. Like I wish like the media would hold on, like grab it an article so we can get them. So I can cover them here. But I've had the pleasure of talking about a bunch of them. One from the 1200s, one from the 1800s. There is a UFO museum. The Japanese parliament has also showed interest in UFO investigations. And then earlier this year, the Japanese parliament had actually mentioned that there is nothing to UFOs. Funny enough, right after the Arrow report was released, the one in March, that talked about all of the UFO offices, but there was one line in particular in that paper, in that report, I think on the second page, is that, and this is from memory, and it said, foreign UFO offices agree with Arrow that there's nothing to see here about UFOs. They're explainable. Right after that report was released, Japan followed suit and Australia followed suit as well. So I found that really strange. And I do hope that Japanese UFO researchers continue to pursue the investigations of UFOs because it is a very strange hotspot. I mean, they're islands, right? And there have been so many connections between UFOs and running water, UFOs and islands as well. Japan has a very rich history overall, and there have just been very strange reports of UFO sightings in that country that we've covered here. There's an episode here called The Mysteries of Japan. I highly recommend that you watch it. It was a Mysteries with a History episode with Jimmy. But if more stuff comes up about Japan, it'll be covered right here on this channel. Whenever we do any UFO updates, at the very least, you'll find it on my website at ufonews.co, which is a UFO news aggregate. So anywhere where UFOs are mentioned in articles, it will show up on my website. Bookmark it. I made it for me and mine with very high expectations. I've gotten really good feedback, and I really hope that many of you also like it and that you use it as a research resource. That's what I use it for. And it's totally free. It's spam free, it's ad free, it's free access. I wanted to make a resource like that for anyone that has an interest in this topic. UFOs in Mexico City around the earthquake, also during the eclipse. That's a strange one as well that isn't talked about. I would like to see that, or the UFOs coming in and out of the volcano Popocatépetl. I think I said that right. I wish those were also talked about more often. So I get you on that one, MJ. I'll talk about those for sure. Oumuamua. That's a good one. That one's definitely, of course, in Abby Loeb's wheelhouse. More so than anybody else. The Rendlesham Forest incident, that one's been pretty heavily investigated, but also a great case, and I don't think we can ever stop talking about that one. Marty, speaking my language, all the Brazilian UFO incidents are interesting. Yes, they are. And a great researcher that's staying up to date on all of those is Ronnie Vernet. He's doing a really great job. Sorry. He has a website. Let me find it. I don't have it, but Ronnie Vernet also has a website that keeps everyone up to date on the Brazilian UFO sightings that take place there, that he investigates, boots on the ground investigations. For those watching this, hanging out with me, have you actually looked at the UFO news site? And do you have anything that you would like to see added to the website? I'd love to hear your suggestions either here in the live chat or via email as well. I'm all ears. I want to make it bigger and better, like every single day. So I really would like to hear, for those that have seen the website, hear your feedback. And if you haven't seen it, do it right now. Type in ufonews.co, not .com, .co, and then tell me in the live chat what you want to see. And for those that have already seen it, I want to hear your suggestions here or via email. My email is in the description box below. It's Cristina at ufonews.co. All Work says, been on the site. It's nice. Thank you. I have one. Could you do a video podcast feed or only YouTube? Yeah, so that website has a YouTube feed and it has my podcast attached to it through the Spotify little button on top. It's right there. Ooh, the Min Min lights in Australia. I've covered it, not in significant detail, but there's an episode called The Mysteries of Australia. You can find it there. I do have the sniffles. I didn't earlier, but now I do. And that makes my voice sound weird. Colin says, I will check it out more, but mostly watch the YouTube, TBH. Yes, but see, like, the site and all the articles, you get that instant news and it's updated instantly. So whenever an article comes in, it shows up right there in that moment. So it's much speedier than me doing a podcast, once every few days. Chris says, are you up for some Elite after the show? I actually have Elite Dangerous open on my other computer, but I'm probably going to kick back on the couch and then obviously watch some Father Ted, the Christmassy episode, and then some Clouseau. And then maybe later tonight, maybe I'll play some Elite. I'd like to, but I have movie plans today. Ulf says, Your website is legit. Thank you. Only because we've been using the word legit today. Appreciate that. Bad Gaming says, nice website. Thank you. Marcus says, Christina, have you ever covered the Devil's Den, Arkansas case? A lot of abductee stories, really wild one. I want to say I have, and I think I've only ever touched on it. I don't think I've ever gone into detail. It's coming from memory. I've done 800 episodes, which is a lot. The name is so familiar, and I feel like we've covered it, but I might need to revise it. I think I should. So thank you. I'm gonna write that down. Got it. Ooh, yeah, the 1933 Magenta UFO crash, Italy. That one got famous because of David Grush, where he had mentioned it not only during the UFO hearing, but also I think it was to News Nation, and then later it was grabbed by the Daily Mail, and people were like, "What?" Same. I would really like to go into a deeper dive on that, but there's limited information from what we know so far. There was an Italian UFO researcher who covered it. That was also mentioned in the Daily Mail article. But I think he wrote it some in his book. But the information that I was able to come across is very limited. Ooh. Yes. That UFO incident in Russia. The Varnich from 1989. Love that case. Super interesting as well. The Kaz Clark incident, covered it. I did a whole episode. And so let me give you a story on this, because we're just sharing stories. When I covered the Penturk incident years ago, because her case took place in 2016, I covered it, I want to say 2021, 2022, somewhere around there. She was in the live chat watching it. She was in the chat watching me do an analysis on her case. At the time, I was a newbie. I was so nervous. I was like sweating profusely. It's funny now. It was not funny then. I have had the chance to actually revise that case when I did a recent show on Wales and all of the many of the strange UFO sightings that have taken place there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how crazy this Penturk incident is. But like thinking back, I was like, oh my gosh, the witness was actually in the live chat watching me talk about it. It put me on my toes, to say the least. I get this question a lot, Wesley. Do you play Star Citizen? I tried it once, and once was enough. I didn't really like it. I know. People were like, what? Christina, you don't like it? I just prefer Elite. I like the exploration. I like looking for different plants and stuff. I like fighting the Thargoids, all these things. But even so, I hardly have enough time for Elite Dangerous as it is. So playing Star Citizen as well, I would need more hours in the day. I mean, Tiger, we never ask a woman her age, do we? Did mom not teach us this? I know people can answer that for you in the chat. But seriously, we don't ask those questions to any woman, right? Not even your mom. You know what? My mom, I don't even know how old she is, to be fair with you, but she's always been 36. I don't know what it is, but like every year it's her birthday, and I give her a call and I'm like, Ma, happy birthday. Your 36th birthday. She's like, what? And I said, Mommy, like, she does not look her age at all, by the way. But for me, in my mind, all of these years, she's always stuck at the age of 36. It's kind of weird when you think about it. But And so with my dad, my dad's always been like 46 every year. He never ages, and neither of my parents like look their age. But I'll call my mom for all the holidays and like once a week, and I'm like, "Ma, cómo estás? Blah 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 blah. Tu cumple cómo fue? Right? How was your birthday? What'd you get for Christmas? What'd you get for your birthday? Right?" And she's like, "Mi amor, you know I'm not 36 anymore." And I said, "Mommy, don't tell me lies. No me digas, okay? Don't tell me these lies, mommy. You're 36." And she's like in her late 50s. But she only has one white hair, no wrinkles. And I'm like, "Ma, pass those traits on to me." But she does look really young. She did pass that on to me. I look younger than my age. My dad also looks younger than his age. It's these weird genes. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we're vampires or something. Don't ask me. But my whole family, on both sides of the spectrum, mom and dad, look much younger than they actually are. Pretty cool. I'm glad I have those genes too. But I do wear sunscreen just to be safe. Okay? We don't want to have those wrinkles. She is 37, really. No, she's much older than 37, but she'll always be 36, 37, my mom. Forever and ever. Killer Cash, happy almost birthday. How exciting. Well, maybe not when you were a kid, because you had to like, you got your Christmas present with your birthday present and your New Year's present. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad for you. But still, happy birthday. That is so awesome. Never had a birthday party in your life. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Instead of your birthday party, it's Christmas. I can get that. I guess it kind of like takes away the limelight, the specialness of your birthday. But you know what? I'm telling you, happy birthday. Buy yourself a cake this year. Have a little tiny party. That'd be fun. If you're into that. If you're a people person. If you're not, stay home. Sleep on the bed. Watch movies. That's like my birthday wish every year. To be left alone. Love it. But Cristina, you're only 16. People think that sometimes. Yeah, I know. I get that. When I'm out and about, not like 16, but definitely younger. Not younger than 16. Never mind. Actually, I'm gonna take that back. That sounds like really creepy, like pedophile worthy. But I get that I'm a lot younger than my age. Too often. Your daughter's birthday is tomorrow, guys. Happy birthday to her. Happy birthday. That's so cool. But still during the holidays, so it's like, oh man, birthday or Christmas, right? Which one are you celebrating? But happy birthday. Got a lot of birthdays over here. Thank you, Chris. Forever 21, like the store that's going out of, what's it called? Going out. They're closing. Forever 21. Oh, guys, we're at 928 likes. Let's get to 1,000. We're almost there. Almost at 1,000. We're having a good time on Christmas, doing a live chat, literally just hanging out, talking about anything and everything. No structure, no script, just you and me having a chat with the drink right next to us, talking about birthdays and everything in between. Not even UFOs today. Well, a little bit. Asking about your favorite cases and stuff. But overall, pretty chill. Out of business. Oh, wellness, Sarah. You took the words right out of my mouth, because I felt like I've used all of my words in my vocabulary at this point, 2 hours in, that now I'm limited. I only have like 10 more words in my memory bank at this point to use. So thank you for filling in the gaps for me. Going out of business. That one. Dude, that was like the store of the day, Forever 21. It was so good. Now you just can't find it at the mall anymore. Joe says, we all get better with age. Age like fine wine or maybe some queso, right? That's what I hear. But I feel like some people, they just don't age mentally. They hit like 60 and they just stop. And they're like, I don't know, 50. Much love from Australia. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you, Sarah. At this point, switching to Spanish, it's not happening. At this point, I can't even form English sentences, let alone Spanish sentences. My gosh, John, it's 3 a.m. over there. I am so pumped that you came to hang out with us, taking the time to do so. Thank you. Santa Claus has a time machine. I mean, paradox, how does he get from house to house to house, right? All in a timely manner. It has to be a time machine. Has to. Whoop whoop, Royal Black. Whoop whoop. Yes, shout out to all Gen X and up. Heck yeah. I remember Maul, says Duckhead. I remember when, right? They're definitely also going out of business. Amazon is just taking the world by storm. Online shopping altogether. Who needs to go to the mall anymore? When you can just do it all from the comfort of your own bed or couch or desk or ironing board table. Why go to the mall and be exhausted walking around when you can just do it online? I mean, it's a lifesaver in so many ways, but a business killer in so many others. Age like fine wine, says Al. Ah, yes. Let's see. Colin, he's not real. Santa's real. I don't know who bursted your bubble, but Santa will always be real. He's an immortal. He's the snow god of presents. Let's see. Online shopping cannot win actual shopping though. I guess in some ways. In others it surpasses it. Let's one moment. If you have any questions, you can place them in all caps and I can answer them a lot easier than when they're in lowercase. This way we can still hang out for a little bit longer before we close up shop rather soon. I'm doing this stream for 2 hours, really just hanging out, having a good time, drinking our chocolate milk, sitting by the fire. The fire, right? Just chilling. Let's see. Dang, Colin. Drinking coffee, as I see Heiser doing. Nice. You got to do it. So important. It's fuel. Did I ever read Carl Jung's book on UFOs? Let me actually mention this. So I researched a case where Carl Jung gave his analysis on a UFO incident that he later gave to Lauren. The last name is Lorenzen. They were a couple UFO researchers, and he had looked into UFO cases, which I found very interesting. That Carl Jung had looked into as a psychiatrist. Either way, what he had mentioned is that some of these issues that are being seen with those that have been abducted by aliens allegedly or have had alien experiences, that they might actually be related to like what we hear often, like schizophrenia and stuff. But out of all of the people in his category of study, he was definitely one of the more open-minded ones that was more opinionated on the subject and did also consider the ET hypothesis more so than that everything is just coming from the mind. So I really do enjoy his work when it comes to his UFO research and his analysis on certain subjects relating to UFOs. But I really enjoyed him, from what I researched, him actually interacting with UFO researchers and investigators and giving his input based off of the letters that he received from them. Really good stuff. Really liked it. What's your opinion on the Billy Mayer case? The name's actually escaping me. Like I know the name, but I can't attach the case to it. I've done 800 shows. I've covered so much that right now, if you give me like a sentence on the case, I can probably give you an opinion. But off of the name alone, I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. What's your favorite Star Trek series? Fascinating, great question. I really like the one with Michael Burnham, like the recent one. I like Strange New Worlds as well, but Star Trek Discovery, I think, has had so much potential too. I thought it was really good overall. I really liked Michael Burnham. Just her character and her character development was spectacular. But also, Strange New Worlds has been really good. And then, if we were to go to like the older seasons, I like Picard. That one's classic. But I also like when they redid Picard when he's like super old. They filmed it just a few years ago and they go into the future of like what 2023. I really liked that. So all of the more recent Star Trek, I've watched all of them in sequence more so than the older style ones. Brian says RV plan updates. The stream has been going on for 2 hours. I did answer this, and I've also mentioned it on my Patreon as well. But pretty much just to give a very quick overview is I'll be renting one in the near future. I'll no longer be purchasing one because of how expensive they are, especially with the inflation that just increases every single year. So it's still happening, but just slightly different plans, which is still exciting. Mark, I am so glad that you're enjoying this live. It just us hanging out, having a good time, and I'm glad that you're here. Bruh says, "Do you like Stranger Things?" I do. I do really like it. I know people are not optimistic for the latest season. It's been too long that they've been filming, but I've overall really enjoyed it. It's fun when I get the moment to watch television. I've watched all the seasons of Stranger Things. Mark, thank you. It says, "Hi, Cristina, wishing you and your loved ones a Merry Christmas." Right back at you. Merry Christmas, Mark. You've also been here since almost the beginning. We've been doing these shows for years now. Thank you for being here, especially on Christmas Day, and supporting the channel as well, as you always do. Thank you for that. Kirk is the GOAT, says Edward, referring to Star Trek. Oh, yeah, Captain Kirk, Spock, classic stuff. I mean, you can't go wrong with the OGs, right? I get that. But if we were to step away just from their series, all of the new ones are really good. I like them. And like the CGI and like the effects, really impressive. And fun fact about Star Trek, for those that didn't know, is that they were going to cut it after season 1. They were like, people aren't going to like this. It's not very good. And then Lucille Ball from I Love Lucy comes in and she's like, "No, guys, it's going to do so well. It's going to do so amazing. You know what? I'm going to fund it my diddly darn self." And she did. And now it is one of the most successful TV shows in history. Thanks to Lucille Ball just showing her interest in it and thinking that her eye for the future, her eye for success, which she did with her I Love Lucy, it was because of her we have all these seasons. Fun fact. And I learned this, and her name escapes me actually now, but what's her name? Forget it. I don't know what her name is, and now it's just going to bother me, and I'm not even going to mention the fun fact, which is sad because I love fun facts. Uhura. Okay, so the character Uhura, she wasn't going to stick around for Star Trek. She's like, it's not really for me. I want another career path. And then here's what happens. Martin Luther King Jr. says to the woman that plays Uhura, he says, "You are this Amazing Black woman representation on television. You were the only show that I let my children watch. Please do not walk away from Star Trek. And so she stayed, but she was going to walk away from it until Martin Luther King Jr. was like, no, 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 stick around. And she did. That's a fun fact. And Tina's here, one of my favorite mods. Thank you so much for being here, Tina, on Christmas Day. How did it go visiting mom? Let me know in the live chat. Right, Cliff? Wait, that's a cool fact. That's what I'm saying. It's very cool. I love fun facts. P says that's an amazing fun fact. I love how you guys love fun facts. That we're all just enjoying this together. Yes, John, also true. It was the first international kiss between Kirk and Uhura. That's right as well. That was a big deal during the time. Yeah, the Calvin UFO photo is interesting. I think it also deserves more attention as well. Because there's not that much out there aside from the people that took it, what they experienced, people attempting to debunk the photo, and just kind of the very limited paper trail that's attached to that image. Very cool, but this is not a lot of information. Aha, I see what you did there, Cliff. Aha, funny. Right? Melanie says, that's so cool. I never knew that. This is why we love sharing fun facts with each other, because you learn things that like you would think that you would never even think about considering or looking into, and then you learn about it and you're like, whoa, I will forever keep this in my memory bank. When will I use it? To impress people at dinner. Use it. It's awesome. Fun factsophical. Stella's a fan because they know I have another channel called Factsophical. I started it and I abandoned it. I'd like to get back into it. But it was a whole channel on sharing fun facts because I just love fun facts. And I also have another channel. It's called Cosmic Portals. It's a space ambient music channel. I've been sparsely uploading, but they're long tracks. So if you need help falling asleep or relaxing or meditating or anything like this, I recommend you checking out my music channel called Cosmic Portals. I make all of the music. Again, it's space ambient music. It's been really fun to make, and I use it for myself to help me or like to aid me to go to bed because I have insomnia, and hopefully it helps those that listen to it as well that have the same issues as I do. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, thanks, Cristina, for hanging out with us on Christmas. Been a wonderful evening night for me. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Thank you. Like, that makes me really happy that I'm able to make your day or your night, your evening on this holiday. Dusty says, the original series casting was legendary. I think you're referring to Star Trek, right? Yes, it was. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Thank you, Eric. Guys, we just need 10 more likes. 10 more likes to reach 1,000. 10. We can do it. We can do it. Hit that like button right down below if you're enjoying this 2.5-hour live stream of just sitting down, hanging out on Christmas, having a good time, chilling like a villain, but not too much like a villain, like a nice villain, like Loki. That'd be nice, right? Which I'm looking forward to their next season. If they're making another season 3 of Loki. The first 2 were great. Really, really enjoyed those. I hope they make another one. Thank you, Rex. Thank you, Steve, for being here and hanging out with us on Christmas as well. Soggy Biscuits, funny name. Says, I listen to your music and it's fantastic. Thank you. That makes me happy. Thank you so much. 8 more likes. Thank you, Chris, for keeping us up to date. 8 more. We're almost there. We hit it. We hit one. That's insane. We hit 1,000 likes in 2.5 hours of just hanging out. Y'all are on the ball. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. It's just fun to reach a goal, to have a goal, right? And it also helps the YouTube algorithm as well. So that's also great. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, as I do several shows right here every single week, all about UFO news, updates, case studies, interviews, and more. I do have a lineup of interviews coming up with my extra special guests of scientists that have looked into the tridactyl mummies or the Nazca bodies, hearing not only their credentials and who and what they work for, but also their analysis on the several bodies that they have in possession. Right now, I'm working on the dubbing because I had to go from Spanish to English, and it's taking me longer than I expected it to go, but I hope to have it up rather soon. I have several of the scientists lined up for you. And then watch the interview that was published yesterday by the UFO investigator Fair Hildebrandt from Argentina, where he shares UFO cases from Argentina that he's investigated and also that has happened to him over his lifetime. People always say, oh, UFO stories only happen in the United States. No, they're happening all over the world. And to be able to speak to investigators and researchers and scientists from around the world helps us broaden our understanding of the phenomenon. And you can find those things right here on this channel. So subscribe. And before you head out, look at my website at ufonews.co, as in CO, to stay up to date on all the latest UFO news, as it is a UFO aggregate website. So anywhere UFO is mentioned in an article anywhere online, it will show up on my website, keeping you and me up to date on what's going on. That is it for today. I will see you next time. Be safe and remember, keep your eyes